This is the walkthrough video for PCTC 2022/2023, round 1, and it's the junior mode. And it says question 4, Calissa ride. You essentially want to figure out if this individual is eligible to ride this roller coaster and what category they fall into. So the first thing to do, as always, is to input whatever you need to input. So in this case, we need to input the age. And this is where it starts to get a bit confusing. So it says if relevant and only if relevant, we want to have another input. But if we go through this systematically, then this question is perfectly doable. So the first thing to look at is the individual age 10 or above? Because if they are, then we can just tell them their category B, that's the end. So if their age is greater than or equal to 10, then we can say we can print B, and that's that case covered. So the other case is if they're not aged 10 or above. So if they're aged 8 or above, so let's say if age is bigger than or equal to 8, then they can write category A, regardless of whether they have a parent or not with them. But it says if they're age 6 or above, they have to have a parent with them. So if you add this other elif saying if they're aged 6 or above, now we need to check if they have a parent in them. And this is where we need to get the second input from the user. And this is like the relevant case where we want the second input. So now we can say, let's just say parent equals input. And if parent equals yes, so if they're accompanied by a parent, make sure the double equals there. If they're accompanied by the parent, then they can ride. But if they're not accompanied by the parent, then they can't ride. So let's just put N for no. And finally, we need to also cover the case that their age is not greater than or equal to 6. And so let's just add an else statement down here. And if they're under the age of 6, then they can't write anything. So let's just write N again. And if we submit this code, it should hopefully work. You see, it's quite confusing because there are loads of if statements within if statements within if statements. But if you go through this systematically and try and cover every case that you can, then hopefully it's a bit clearer how things work. And let's just see. Our answer is right, perfect.